Shocked by the scandal in Minnesota? Don't be. The system isn't broken. It's exactly how it's meant to work. Welcome to the Jason Rantz Show, presented by None Better Tax Resolution. For years, Democrats told us that the only thing standing between America and a perfect society was more government spending, more taxpayer money funneled through community-based, equity-centered nonprofits. We were supposed to believe that this was somehow moral heroism. And then Minnesota happened. Over 70 people tied to the Minnesota nonprofit Feeding Our Future now face federal charges in what prosecutors call the largest COVID-era fraud case in the country. The defendants are accused of stealing hundreds of millions of dollars meant for low-income kids. Prosecutors say that they basically ran the scam with fake invoices, fake meal counts, and rosters full of children who never received anything. It's shocking, but it's not surprising. Why? Because Democrats built a system with almost no guardrails. State agencies rubber-stamped reimbursements without meaningful review because the priority wasn't accuracy. The moment a program is tied to a vulnerable community, Democrats in charge stop asking tough questions. They fear accusations of racism more than losing taxpayer dollars, so they look the other way. They hope no one notices. That ideological paralysis is exactly why this ballooned. Anyone who questioned the obviously fake numbers was accused of discrimination. And around the country, anything labeled equity, culturally specific, community-centered, it gets a political fast pass, even when the numbers don't add up. Layer on top of that the nonprofit industrial complex. This is a political ecosystem where nonprofits act as middlemen, collect millions in administrative fees, and then kick benefits back into the political machine. Feeding Our Future, for example, took in over $18 million in those fees. The groups they sponsored allegedly paid them bribes dressed up as consulting fees, while criminals set up shell companies to move federal money around before anyone could even stop it. And through all of this, no one in government pays a price. No high-ranking Minnesota official has resigned. Meanwhile, you've got Governor Tim Walz, whose administration failed to catch the fraud. Now he's talking tough about accountability. But then he immediately pivots to attacking Donald Trump for calling Somali fraudsters garbage, casting himself as some sort of defender of the community. This is political theater designed to distract from the fact that his own administration enabled this disaster. This is how big government works when no one is being held accountable. California loses tens of billions to fraudulent unemployment claims, including payments, by the way, to death row inmates. And there were no meaningful consequences. When failure carries no cost, failure becomes absolutely routine. Democrats can't admit that their programs are ripe for corruption, so they deny, minimize, they reframe the fraud as a partisan attack. But the Feeding Our Future scandal isn't just a Minnesota embarrassment. This is a warning. When you combine ideological blinders, political patronage, massive government programs, and zero accountability, you exactly get this outcome. Minnesota just got caught. Other states, including here in Washington, they're waiting their turn. Hey, it's Jason Rantz here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn of None Better Tax Resolution. Not only do you know the rules, but ultimately you're going to save them time and money.
We're really good at what we do. We love what we do. And we really want to help taxpayers that are in a very precarious position. And they need relief. They need help. They need someone to stand in their stay.
So if you're having trouble with the IRS, you have to call Greg Nunn of None Better Tax Resolution. From stress to success with IRS Solutions.